This spring is either going to go down in history as one of the most exciting seasons of anime in a long time, or will be forgotten in the annals of time as the season of lost potential. Normally when you look at the anime coming out, you see stuff like high-profile, critically acclaimed Shonen Jump adaptation, probably going to slap, sequel to another highly beloved anime. Yeah, this one's going to be popular. Yet, this spring we are largely heading into the unknown. New anime originals from fresh and also decorated creators of the past, franchise reboots, spin-offs, new unproven IPs that could be a classic or die on a whimper. So screw the memes today because we've got a lot to get through. Hit that intro. Yes, it's spring 2025, and you know what that means?
Classic.
That's right, it's been one entire year since spring 2024. Oh, you already knew that? Well, how about this then? It's also been almost one entire year since the launch of today's sponsor, the award-winning sci-fi open-world action RPG, Wuthering Waves. That's right, that big one-year milestone is rapidly approaching for Wuthering Waves, and to celebrate, they are launching the first anniversary celebration and the version 2.3 update.
Okay.
2 new 5-star characters will be joining the game. There's Zani, a badass main DPS character who uses a giant shield that transforms into a Buster Sword. Her main playstyle revolves around parrying, but more importantly, she's a woman in a suit. And who doesn't love women in suits? And Sia Kona, a full-on
No, I haven't played any gacha game of these.
Her gameplay. Not to mention there's also a bunch of new playable content to dive into as well, including the Gigguk and QB anniversary combat event and the Dreaming Deep Solaris Film Festival roguelike event. And just in case you missed it and needed a reminder, the previous update from just over a month ago added a brand new story chapter, and as someone who just recently played it, I have one word for you.
But I'm excited about the
cinema.
Uma Musume.
That's 2 words. So if you've yet to try the game or have just been looking for
I'm
an
gonna
excuse to
wait.
jump
I'm gonna
back
look it up in the
now is
Steam.
the perfect time. Head to that link in the description to download the game today on iOS, Android, PC, PS5, and now even Mac as well. Also, they've just announced their upcoming collaboration with Cyberpunk Edge Runners in 2026, so stay tuned for updates. Thanks again to Wuthering Waves for sponsoring us today, and with that said, back to spring anime.
クジライさん、肩。
ごめんごめん。
もっといろいろ気にしてくださいよ。
Oh yeah, Kowloon Romance.
工藤君って年上に
This is one of the interesting ones.
Hi, Dad? I think I'm pregnant. In a move of pure disrespect, we have Kowloon Generic Romance, having the gall to put generic in its title, giving a bad name to the shit we see every season that actually deserve that title. A romance series set in Hong Kong's infamous Kowloon walled city, capturing the era of 80s and 90s golden age so perfectly. While an angel from Evangelion launches floating above them watching their every move, don't worry about it. Every single goddamn frame of this show oozes atmosphere, transporting you back to a time you yearn to relive again, even if you've never even lived it in the first place. This series is vibes.
It is very good. I do like
random
it.
city pop playlist that YouTube recommended to you at 2 a.m. and
We
getting
have one
nostalgic
episode
for an
tonight.
era you weren't even around for. We finally have a romance, not in high school, not with some immature kids. There's a sci-fi mystery aspect that leads me to believe there's more going on behind the scenes. And you know what? This isn't even the only anime this season with immaculate vibes. Cause what could be more immaculate than the end of humanity itself?
Oh yeah. This,
yes, it's another anime original coming from Cygames Pictures,
so
and I think
cute,
I've learned to have a soft spot for cheerful, comfy stories set in a desolate, post-apocalyptic world, because at this point, maybe the idea of the world coming to an end is more comfy than it seems. But also, there's just something about combining upbeat stories with this air of melancholy that I can't help but gravitate towards every time, like a moth flying towards my next existential flame. If, like me, you've been looking for a show that reignites those feelings you got from watching Girls' Last Tour, give this one a go.
I do like that one a lot.
Store announcement. We regret to inform you that there is only one Nintendo Switch 2 left, and it will be selling on a first-come, first-served basis. Thank you for your understanding.
We got just a handful of sequels this season, like more Windbreaker, a boy shows about boys being boys doing boy things like fighting, punching each other, forming manly brotherhoods with each other. Why are all the girls watching this? Shoshimin is continuing, Aharen along with Sentai Daishikaku. Hopefully this season can capitalize on its premise and not drag us through another 7 episodes of exams we don't care about. Fire Force is entering its final season. I never finished the first one, but every so often
me neither, man.
Makes me want to pick it back up. But that's
I kind of want to do it too.
Seasons don't take me out of some of the insane action scenes it's capable of by shoving a boatload of Tamaki's ass in my face every time I'm just slightly immersed. And that's a big if. Oh my god, is that Sea Dog VA? Oh my god, is that Sea Dog VA? Oh my god, is that Sea Dog VA? This one just came out of nowhere. We got another remake of a classic manga from the creator of Detective Conan this time, which I'd never heard of before. But god damn if this didn't turn out to be some of the best animation on offer this season. Studio Wit continue to prove they are just the master chef with everything they touch, because this is on a whole nother level for remakes of old school anime, even with some of the great ones we've had recently. My Hero Academia is also here with a darker, grittier spin-off series that has so far impressed me as much as the mainline show. It's interesting to see a street-level perspective of the Hero Academia world, following characters who don't have flashy city leveling powers, still find a way to take down these super villains. You got your friendly neighborhood Slider-Man, some idol wannabe whose quirk is to bounce. Crazy stuff. And the most powerful hero of all. Yes, there's the guy whose only quirk is the 2 massive balls he wakes up with every morning to take on these super villains without having any powers. It's Only Man's. So, did you hear about what's going on? Not really, I don't follow the news. So yeah, well, America's putting up tariffs. Yeah. Canada and Mexico. Wait, I was wrong. It's every country. It's only 10% though. Minimum. But they're gonna wait 90 days. Except China's getting a special tariff. It's 104%. Wait, no, that was a lie. It's 245%. It's always nice to see a light-hearted comedy be one of the most hyped up series this season. Coming from the author of Sket Dance, we have Witch Watch, but with which watch do we watch Witch Watch with? I don't know where I'm going with this. Girl comes back from witch school and has to choose her familiar, a being that will permanently become her man.
I was so
slave,
frustrated. I'm sure I watched episode 3 on stream.
Whim. If this was an isekai, we'd call
but
this
I cannot find it on the VODs.
And she's
I wanted to make a clip
friend, but unfortunately
of the,
for him,
when she multiplies into many lollies. But I couldn't find the VOD. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yep, she's one of those. This is the type of girl who'd stare at a bottle of orange juice because it said concentrate. But it's the chemistry between the two leads that makes these opening episodes work so well. For the 5 of you that still remember Aho Girl, this is that with more magic and less domestic violence. Lazarus. If there was one show I was excited for before the season started, this one was my pick. It's some dystopian future where all of humanity has got addicted to some miracle drug because it's easily accessible and affordable with no apparent drawbacks except for one. That's revealed by the drug's creator, Dr. Skinner, that anyone who's taken the drug will die approximately 3 years
I've seen
after
people
they
haven't been
the world falls into chaos.
Too hyped about this one.
And the Dow Jones drops to the lowest it's ever been in years.
Like it doesn't seem to be living up to the hype, I mean.
Wacky sci-fi story. And so a ragtag team is formed to catch him in what looks to be an old school action sci-fi. You got Shinichiro Watanabe, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, one of the most goated directors this medium has seen, and you pair him with Chad Stahelski. John Wick's Chad Stahelski for the action choreography, with Studio Mappa bringing their best, and this should be a recipe for success. Visually, it's absolutely top dollar, the music is bebop-esque with a modern twist, the world looks so vibrant and alive with an early 2000s vibe we haven't seen for so long. On paper and with the names behind it, this is a show I really, really want to like. But
yeah, okay, he's gonna say it.
I don't know, guys. Something just feels off.
Well, we're here to save the world.
What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
We're like the Avengers or something.
Oh shit, guys, I was bloody joking. The writing is trying so hard to be cool. Really hard. Maybe a bit too hard, because it sometimes reaches awkward sounding dialogue or even Marvel level quips. It never quite reaches the natural charm and chemistry when you watch something like Cowboy Bebop. I mean, just take the main character. He's like Spike. He can do everything that Spike does, except with more backflipping. He can fight like Spike with more backflipping. He can run like Spike with more backflipping. Motherfucker graduated from the Leon Kennedy School of Necessary Backflipping.
Like a bird that was let out of its cage.
Did the bird do a flip on the way out? I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt now because it's still doing so many other things right. It's early days, so we'll know soon if it'll fall flat on its face or will it fly away like a bird. backflipping out of its cage. On this
I
episode
mean, it
of
could
What
be
in the
a
Actual Goon, an anime
late
where a girl can loop back in time
bloomer.
every time she takes off her underwear. Now, I'm no stranger to anime logic. I can get behind degeneracy. I can get behind wacky concepts. But you're telling me a silent classroom full of people is not going to notice a guy standing up in eye shot of everyone and walking over to the most popular girl in class only to get on his knees and play around with her underwear while she violently moans. Motherfucker, I couldn't get a coffee in class without getting a snarky comment from the teacher. Meanwhile, bro is up
That's
there putting
true.
his foot halfway up the stairway to heaven, and not a single person is pointing this out. Gigguk, it's just a dumb ecchi show. Why are you overthinking this? No, this is still a story based on rules we have to abide by. I can't suspend my disbelief to this. My dick would never forgive me again. We may be
I
degenerates.
do wonder where the
we
show
may
is
watch
going.
shows that appeal to the lowest
So
common
that's
denominator,
what makes
but that
me want
doesn't
to
mean we can't
keep watching.
goon with standard. Wait, hold on. Crunchyroll actually have the uncensored version on their site? Okay, hold on a second.
Here's your bill. $4.16, pervert.
$4.16 pervert.
Pervert.
What you call it, pervert?
It's written on the bill.
You know what? Forget degenerates, isekai, or fantasy fans. You know who's eating real good this season? Slice of life fans. We got
Yeah.
Eurocamp, except they become fat fucks because this food looks delicious. There's Eurocamp funded by the Yamanashi Prefecture, coming from the author of...
Yeah.
Oh, there's some anime girl who finds an expensive hobby traveling around Japan in what I can assume is the most elaborate tax write-off for the mangaka making it. Wait a minute, this is just Abroad in Japan, adorable blue-haired anime girl edition. A ninja and an assassin under one roof. For a deadpan ayaya comedy, this somehow has way better animation than most traditional action shows this season. You know, this spring we just have so much to pick from, and yet even out of all these, there is one anime that I think has more potential above all others. And it isn't even technically an anime. To Be Hero X is the latest high-profile series coming from China. And holy hell did they come here to play. It's been a while since
I've
I've
seen
been so
people talk about
genuinely
this a lot.
awestruck at the production values of an animated series. Okay, that's actually a lie. Since Arcane recently shattered that bar before it, but I did not think it would be so soon till I saw something that could even compete, and To Be Hero X is getting pretty damn close. We got China's
But, you
version
know,
of Tiger and
I
Bunny
don't
with a
know.
world of
Like, good graphics isn't enough to get me interested. And I have to hear more about the plot. You know, has to be good.
hyper-commercialized superheroes. Yes, as
I
you
am
can
hyped
tell,
on
this looks
Lord of the
very
Mysteries,
similar to
though.
Arcane to the point where I had to double
Super
check
hyped.
it wasn't by the same studio. But they are just completely flexing by switching up styles on a whim, with multiple animation studios working on this, giving potential for some of the coolest animated sequences I've seen in a very long time. 3D, 2D, all of it blends together in a way that hasn't been attempted since... ever. This could be as much of a stylistic choice as it is a narrative one, and if the trailers are of any indication, there's even more switch-ups to come. This is not an anthology of stories, this feels like an anthology of animation and a celebration of everything kick-ass. No, this isn't technically
Oh,
an
so
anime,
it's an
but as an
anthology.
anime fan, nothing is getting me more pumped this season than
Okay.
To Be Hero X.
I gotta watch it. This one's so mid. Like the music is so mid, man.
Okay guys, remember last time when I freaked out trying to convince you
I
guys
wish it
that
was good.
idol anime and band anime are totally different things? Well, I think I finally realized the massive difference that makes these two genres totally unique. You see, I like this music. It feels like we've entered a new era of band anime since there seems to be at least one great one coming out every season, and this one looks to be joining the best of them. Music side, what could be more fun than a bunch of upty pret school or jaw
Nah, you're
summers
tripping,
politely
Gigguk.
speaking to each other in uppercase before
No way.
shredding it on the guitar and getting really, really, really concerningly wet while doing so as a sign of their totally platonic friendship. No Hoyoverse. This was just a bloody fun show, and I don't know how they can make it any better. Oh! There's a bird! And she's flying out of the cage! Oh my god, when's she gonna do a backflip? I don't know what bloody horse Uma Musume fans sacrificed to the gacha gods, but this franchise has now somehow become one of the must-watch sports anime. For
Yep,
those unaware, you come in
yep.
thinking of watching
Based.
a cash grab of some gacha game adaptation, and then they will drop a scene like this.
Go to Musume.
Cygames is one of the few companies that have used their exorbitant gacha earnings for good, with their studio pumping out the highest quality adaptations for all their IPs while also funding exciting anime originals like Apocalypse Hotel. Congratulations, Uma Musume players. You are no longer filthy gacha gamers like the rest of us. Be proud. You have ascended to investors. Oh! New season of Mushoku Tensei coming in! Wait, hold on a second. What the hell? The beginning after the end. Now, this is a webtoon anime with a story that I've been told rivals Mushoku Tensei's, and well, the only thing coming close to an end is my hope that this is going to get a good adaptation. You know, I got a feel for the beginning after the end fans. If this is the final product they waited for, I can only imagine the first draft of the screenplay went something along the lines of...
In the beginning, in the beginning, yeah, in the beginning, yeah. In the beginning.
Well, now that Gur is graduating, there's got to be some way to get weebs into baseball. And
This
what
one is
better
so
way than a
goated
cute,
too,
smug
man.
anime girl who will tease you
And I
at
don't give
every
a shit about
game.
baseball.
I'm suddenly uninterested. I know baseball is Japan's pastime and all, but I'm more of a football guy myself. Yeah, this one wasn't great. And then we get to Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. Another fantasy anime, except the main character is an older guy now. Look, at least anime is self-aware enough now to know that the audience that grew up watching Sword Art Online 12 years ago are now no longer teenagers. But do they think we're so cheap, so unchanged from our younger selves that we'd fall for the same power fantasy show, except this time they just aged up the protagonist to be this really chill and mature guy who's actually super modest and trying to get by in life, unaware how powerful he is, but still never overestimating himself, preaching respect and self-improvement, humbling cocky teenagers who end up admiring him and listening to him, not because he has aura, but because he has wisdom and life experience. And fuck, I really like this one. But hey, we're not that old yet, guys. We're still hip with the kids. Hey, look, guys, chicken jockey. Keeping on theme with the amount of nostalgic shows, we got an anime that looks like it jumped right out of late 2000s visual novel
I have to get into this one.
Yes, if you couldn't tell, this is Key. Yes, if you couldn't tell, this is Jun Maeda. Yes, if you couldn't tell, it's probably going to tear your heart to shreds, but the real question is, how is it going to stack up against... Birds! They got birds! But wait, where's the cage they're escaping from? Not even a single backflip? I changed my mind, guys. This is probably going to be ass. Next up, Gundam GQX.
なんて読むんだ
Turn A Gundam.
Gigguk?
Gigguk.
Gigguk? Gundam?
Gigguk?
X
Yeah, let's go with that. Now, this is the highest profile new Gundam series to be released in a while, and while I've seen my fair share of Gundams, my editor, who is an OG Gundam fan and far better equipped to talk about this than me, has given me his statement he would like me to read on whether you should be watching this or not, from a true Gundam fan. Mobile
Okay.
Suit Gundam G-Quax is a collaborative production from Sunrise and Studio Kara. The project marks the first credited work Hideaki Anno has contributed to the franchise since Char's counterattack in 1980. Oh my god! It's got girls! Set in an
Strong
alternative
argument.
Universal Century timeline, G-Quax presents a scenario in which Char Aznavour joins the Xeon raid on Side 7 in 0079. A setting like this runs the risk of
Like, can I watch
alienating
it
new
if I
fans
haven't
in the
seen
same way
any
UC itself
Gundam
does,
before?
but also for the UC purists that don't like
I don't
the
know.
change. They're playing the guitar together. Look at that, that's so cute. Oh god, they're adorable. I actually feel as though in diverging so heavily from the original story, it may make it easier for new fans to pick up without prior context. And as for myself, I'm thoroughly enjoying G-Quax, but I do find myself having many issues with most of the mechanical designs as they... And now they're sleeping with each other. This is peak anime right here. We've done it, guys. We've exhausted all other isekai ideas that there's only one place left it can possibly go. Space! Remember when I said the amount of isekai that's...
Okay, this is what we were going to watch next. And, I don't know, man. I think this one is pretty solid. Like, it's still too early. I have to see. I have 2 episodes behind. But I think it could be interesting because there haven't been many isekais in space, sci-fi isekais. And it's just a different vibe, you know? It gives me the feeling of kind of like those space opera novels. Yeah, like, I don't know. Star Wars, well, or...
Start by death from Overworld was getting a little depressing.
I don't know, those
Well,
sci-fi
how about this?
adventure
We got
books.
another Overworld salaryman. Okay, nothing new to see here, but this time he has a family and he finds out his wife is cheating on him. But wait, that's not all. Turns out his daughter is not actually his real daughter, and if his day wasn't bad enough already, he gets framed for embezzling money from his company. His wife tells him he's pathetic, his daughter tells him she doesn't love him, gets fired, divorced, loses custody, is forced to pay child support and the 50 million yen he got framed for embezzling.
Also, you know, now that he's mentioning the backstory of the main protagonist, there isn't many isekais. Well, there is a couple, but I don't know, like where the protagonist is trying to be evil or like an anti-hero. Like there is Shield Hero, but those events happen to him after he gets isekai, so it's kind of different. In this one, it's like he's at the rock bottom before getting isekai. And yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with that.
Embezzling, and then after all this,
Because he seems to be quite pragmatic, you know? I think it's going to be kind of like the lawful good. Like, he's actually a good
we didn't know how good we
governor.
had it when Truckun was about. What's the name of this anime? Can a boy-girl friendship survive?
A good count, I mean.
絶交しよう
No.
This one's an interesting concept. On her 17th birthday, an apprentice witch gets told she is cursed and has a year left to live. That is, unless she is able to collect 1,000 tears of joy from people, which will not only save her life, but also grant her immortality. And so she goes on a personal journey to help strangers and bring some genuine happiness to people's lives. Damn, isn't this nice? Isn't this a feel-good series? No. Small brain. Amateur shit. Let's break this down. You need to average at least 2.7 tears per day or you are going to die. That is multiple tears per day. Going around solving random people's problems is probably the dumbest fucking thing you can do in this situation. Think, girl, think. You can mainly focus on just one person at a time. Each problem can take maybe days or even more to solve, and at the end of it all, you don't even have a guaranteed success rate if the fucker doesn't want to...
Yeah, so what is your plan? Like, you have to engineer a big event to manipulate the emotions of many people at the same time?
Cry! So, here's how a pro does it. Step 1. Get
Okay,
an
let's
apartment
hear it,
right
let's
next
hear
to
it.
a hospital.
Okay, yeah.
Extra points for a hospital that specializes in life-saving surgeries or delivering newborns. This will give you a way to passively farm that shit when you got nothing going on. Step 2. Becoming a
Oh. Yeah, you could gather those tears. Yeah.
wedding officiant. Weddings are just prime
I guess she doesn't. Was there the rule that she had to be involved in the things that caused the tears? Because yeah, she could farm those passively so easily.
spots for people crying out of tears of joy, and being an officiant means you only have to commit an hour while possibly hitting up multiple weddings a day. Even if it's not the most emotional wedding, you should have at least an 80% success rate on the bride, groom, and their parents. But if that still sounds like too much work, don't worry. We have the nuclear option. Are you ready? Attend one single Taylor Swift concert and you will reach your cap in a single song with tears to spare, I swear to God. You will be thanking white women for the rest of the immortal life you will now live. But no, make this grandma cry. So happy. And finally, coming from the king of trashy romance anime is the Shiunji family children. From the same mind that gave us Rent-A-Girlfriend, this is an anime that's a harem romance series about a dude and his 4 stepsisters, 1 blood sister, and a younger brother. And I'm sure hearing this summary, you may laugh, you may snicker to yourself, but I am here in awe, witnessing a man of true talent. Because a project like this is one of pure dedication and determination from a person with something to prove. We can all learn something from Shuinji family. It is infinitely harder to create than to judge, but if you're gonna do something, if you're gonna do anything, what's the point of doing it if you're not going to try to be the best? Even if you're the best at being the worst. If one man's trash is another man's treasure, then this man can turn a trash can into a fully operational waste disposal center. Because even if you think you've reached your full potential, be that person who can dig deep and know they have more to give. Who can look at his work on Rent-A-Girlfriend and say, no, we must go lower. Who can look at the amount of sisters in Domestic Girlfriend and say, nay, We must go higher.
I'm
One
not
sister,
watching this
two
trash, man.
sisters. How about 5 and a younger brother? Because we are not in the end game yet. There is always a higher summit to climb. So, just remember, family always comes first. Just as long as you don't come in family. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you
Good
very
video,
much this month
good
to
video,
Author
good
Curtis
video,
Eckstein,
good video.
Basil, D's Nuts, Dysfunctional Degenerates, Flabberwocky.
Alright. That was good. I'm thinking if there is any other video any other anime that he didn't mention that I'm watching that I would have mentioned. I don't think so. He didn't mention Satsutabi, but I'm not seeing that one either, so I cannot say if it's good. I think he didn't mention Satsutabi. Oh, he didn't mention Yummy Healer. Yeah. Then this one. Shoutouts to Yummy Healer. It's pretty, isekai, not isekai, it's a pretty common isekai, not fantasy anime, very average. But it's not bad. It's actually not bad. It's actually good to turn your mind off and, just watch aura farming and harem with different monster girls. Speaking of, let's watch it. Let's go watch the last episode. Episode 5.
ゼノス、新しい紅茶買うの楽しみ。
そうだな。リリに入れても